issue of, I've just described the issue of character, how I came to where I was, and I've shown you the answer to the issue of integrity, and then
your choice of Labour Party.
Well, let me also correct one thing that I read in social media, that I immediately visited
NNPP.
NNPP. Never had such visit.
That was not a choice for you at the time?
No, it wasn't even a choice.
Why was the speculation coming that you might be joining NNPP?
I don't know. Yeah, the people who live on speculation. I never visited anybody. I didn't even leave. I just said, I wrote a letter and submitted it quietly. Why choice of labor? If you had followed my mantra since I started this, I've always said, Shehu, the greatest tragedy of our country today is consumption and not production. It is sharing and not creating. I said I want to move the country from consumption to production. A country of 200 million people with a land size of 923,000 square kilometers cannot produce or feed itself. No export. So our total export is less than $30 billion.
How do you hope to change that narrative?
For 200 million people. Less than 30. That is including oil. Oil is about 80% of our foreign exchange earning. And so you can calculate how much that it is when you include that. So you're talking about, there's no way that can happen. There's no way that can sustain the country. It is not possible. Countries that are smaller in land size, in population, like I've always mentioned, like Vietnam, 100 million, 331,000 square kilometers of land, total export last year, $312 billion. 97% are manufactured goods. There's no production here. It must change.
I'm going to ask you how you hope to change that, because at this point in time, millions of Nigerians are listening to those who want to get into the #1 city in the country, and the solution are the issues. But we'll take a breather. So much, everyone, for staying with us. Mr. Peter Obi, presidential aspirant who moved now to the Labour Party, has been talking to us. Thank you so much, Mr. Obi, for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you were talking about, a lot of Nigerians, including myself, were interested in solutions. And I'm very certain that Nigerians are looking for the person who has the answers to the very many questions on the lips of a lot of Nigerians. So you're talking about export and our capacity as a Nigerian to generate revenue. Now, the question is, what would you do differently to turn around this very challenge of our country?
So when you see me go around the country talking about trade, it's clear developmental parameters or yardsticks to measure development. If you go through #1, which are there for everybody to see, is issue of human development index. So first is you talk about issue of health, you talk about issue of education, you talk about the issue of per capita. All these issues are issues you need to invest adequately in. And then especially the last one, you can only increase people's per capita by tackling the economy. And you can't talk about tackling the economy without talking about trade. It is trade that is the main, call it engine or wheel of economy. And countries after countries, growth are measured, wealth are measured by the trade of that nation. So that's the critical area where you need to invest. Sharon, I'm a trader. I've created wealth. I started as a micro, small, medium business. So I know what you can do in order to create wealth. Today we have massive insecurity, massive, problems all over the place. Which solution can be linked to the economy? If you invest in the economy of this country and pull millions of people that you have thrown into poverty out of poverty, shall you reduce criminality? That has been done everywhere in the world. And we have talented young people, energetic, that we have not invested in. If you invest properly in them, give them access to capital, access to proper education and everything, it will be different.
So if Nigerians give you a chance now, today, with security situation in the country, economic situation and all of that, say in 100 days or less, what should they expect from you differently from what we see today in Nigeria? As a leader, how drastic or how radical would you handle things?
Well, Shehu, don't talk about 100 days. This problem cannot be solved in 100 days. Anybody who is promising 100 days...
Well, Nigerians want solution. They want action.
No, it is not possible. You can't do it overnight. You just have to, from day one, show a clear destination that is visible, measurable, people can believe in. I've done it in the state.
And that's what they should expect from a Peter Obi presidency.
Period. You do it systematically. And you can measure it. If you say, I'm going to tackle issues, we're going to invest in health, primary health care, how many schools of nurses we have? We have 774 local governments. How many do we have today? We have less than about 400 schools in this sector. Can we increase it? What are we producing? The world is shortage of nurses and midwives. Can we help? Even in Nigeria, the number we have is far less than the required. So what are we doing? You can move into education. Today, our tertiary school enrollment is 9%. The global average is at 8%. In developed world, it's 50%. So look at it. We are not even achieving a quarter of the global average. And worse, they're shut down for months now. You can't do that.
You've said all of this, but the question is whether or not you are hoping to get a ticket of the Labour Party. That's the plan, isn't it?
No. Sheikh, I've told you. My position in this whole exercise is not enshrined in desperation.
But you hope to be the president of Nigeria?
Yes. I hope to get the ticket.
That's one of the reasons why you come to Labour Party.
I hope to get the ticket. I have to campaign the way it should be. And I hope that the people will vote for me because I have an idea of how to turn around this sinking ship.
Mr. Peter Obi, we need to let you go because we have a lot of obligations that we need to meet tonight. Thank you so much. And we hope that at some point, please create time so that we can talk extensively about some of your plans.
Thank you
so
very much,
Mr. Peter Obi, for joining us tonight.
Thank you.